All right, today's project on Peep, Keen and I are gonna put an electronic fuel pump down inside that 15-gallon tank, get it wired and get it plumbed up to that AMC 304. All right, Keen, so let's have a look at that fuel pump itself. So the way this guy works is it's an in-tank fuel pump, which has got a regulator which puts 58 PSI deadheaded up to that fuel injector. So what we need to do is we need to pull the cap off of the end of the fuel pump itself. And we need to put this, what they call hydromat fuel filter on the end of it, and then get it down inside of that tank without ripping it. All right, next step here, Ian, we're gonna go ahead and pull off the contamination cap off the fuel pump. Grab that hydromat kit, and that guy is gonna go on there. I think it's a one way. We'll stick that on there. And we'll slowly feed it down into the tank. All right, everything Key and I read suggests that you put a little bit of painter's tape around the really sharp edges around the tank, because this is our initial fuel filter. Certainly don't want to get a tear in that, and these are incredibly sharp edges. So we're gonna dull those before we stuff this almost $500 fuel pump down inside this tank.
Next step, we gotta feed this down in there without breaking anything. There we go, got it all in there.
And slowly feed it down. All right, now from everything Key and I read, we actually have to temporarily pull this float mechanism off so that we can push that on down through as well. So the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna use this Phillips head, and we're gonna pull these screws. All right, so now that we've got that undone, we can go ahead and put these down in there in combination with each other. And then we can screw these back on. All right, next step, we're gonna have Kian pull the tape off of those sharp edges, making sure we don't let any of that fall down inside the tank. And that will allow us to officially get the O-ring in there and then seat that whole mechanism down inside that 15-gallon tank. All right, next step, Kian, we are gonna take this O-ring, go ahead and grab that guy, and you're gonna have to feed it over top of the lines all the way at the back, correct? And then slowly take that over that whole mechanism, try not to cut it anywhere, and then, yeah, you'll have to, there you go, boom. Drop that down on there, perfect. And then you can go ahead and start to seat that down in there, yep. And there's gonna be little tabs that you'll have to adhere to. So there's tabs on the underside of that guy, and there's corresponding tabs on the tank that you have to line up some. Yeah. All right, next step, Kian, go ahead and put that locking collar in there. It's gonna go around the electronics, around the feed. Boom, that's it. Then we'll take a screwdriver and a drift. We'll kind of knock that tight, and then run the fuel line. Nice job, bub. Next step for Key and I, we need to take that fuel pump output and electrics and route them in a safe way all the way up to this fuel body. So this is the inlet side of it, and because it's a pressure regulated in tank, we actually can block the outside of it. So Kian has got a plug here. He's gonna go ahead and roll that on there. And this actually is gonna prevent us from needing to run a return line, one less risk. That's it, bud.